Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, they're holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Hi everybody, Beverly's on time. Excellent. I've noted that in my fake notebook that I don't even have. I have my real notebook out of reach, but I've notated that, Bev. Yay, Beverly. Hi, Vicky P. Hi, CYP. Tonight, I'm wearing cellulite yoga pants. Love my necklace. Thank you again so much. How lovely is it? I adore it. Adore. J'adore. But I do want to say something before we get started. For some reason today, I have encountered assholes like nobody's business. I'm not joking. I don't normally. I'm usually pretty good. People seem to be quite good with me. But for today, for some reason, I met so many assholes. And I am fighting my natural instinct to head to a fucking bar and pick up assholes. Because, like, it's like there's a full moon or something happening. Anyways, I'm joking. But I did want to wear a nice, pretty outfit for you guys for Friday night. A few announcements before we get started, but we do have a case to watch today, a long case. Also, I worked this morning before, like, earlier and got some other court, and I have to process it before we watch it. But the good news is, I thought they're yelling at me. As we know, it's Friday night. It's guys' night at my house. Whoa. My top is popping open. Bam. And Lisa, I just said your name. I said Lisa B. I forget what I was saying. Oh, it's guys' night. They're yelling. I'm yelling. I'm afraid that they're yelling at me. They're not. They're just yelling at each other. And I'll yell at thee. So anyways, it's an eclipse, full moon energy. Some fucking shit is going down today. I shit you not. At one point today, I just was like, I don't often, like, take umbrage with people's attitudes. Because, you know, whatever. It can just fall right off my back. I'm the type of person that has their own YouTube channel open to criticism at all times. So believe me, I'm not thin-skinned, but it just seemed like so fucking weird today. I was just like, okay, all right, okay. Anyways, let us get going because we are going to watch a pretty long hearing today. And the thing I wanted to remind you about is Slap Fight Saturday night, tomorrow night. Remember, you guys have a date to watch people fight with the slapping. And so that makes it okay, just so you know. But it's a fun place to be over with Credence and Mikey, don't forget. Do not forget, I won't be live tomorrow, but they will be, so go be entertained. Case. I recorded so much court.
Dean are according to
Shut
your
up.
computer docket.
Judge, sorry. Oh, I don't feel like saying shut up to this judge. I pretty much respect her. So I apologize, Judge, for my rudeness. I defer to you, Judge Madrigal.
Okay,
Yes, Judge.
you've announced yourself, Mr. Harper. Now, Ms. Garcia, same for you, your full legal name.
Dolores Mary Garcia.
If you would both go ahead and raise your right hands, I need to swear you in. Do each of you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, starting with you, sir?
I do.
And ma'am.
I do.
Thank you. Before I involve the state, though I know they're here and they're prosecuting this case, I need to tell you a couple of things about my court. One is that I'm an associate judge. I've been appointed to hear cases filed by the Office of the Attorney General, their child support unit. And as an associate court, we are courts of record. They don't assign court reporters to us. We have a digital recorder, so be mindful of that. I need all your answers to be verbal, loud enough for the recorder to pick up and the court to hear. No shaking your head or nodding. That doesn't record. No ahas or ahs. You're in a formal courtroom, so I do expect yeses and nos. The second part of the recording issues are, I mentioned that we were live streaming on YouTube. It is a requirement that the courts are open to the public. That's under the open courts provision of our Constitution. So we've all been in courtrooms for forever up until COVID hit. And you know I'm not sitting in a courtroom in Caldwell County because you're not there with me. So I'm not in a courtroom where people can come in and watch these proceedings in that county. So when COVID hit, they set up Zoom court, and the open courts requirement was a big deal. So they set up the live stream on YouTube as a way for the public to log in and watch these proceedings, which is their right and which is our duty. So we did that for years, and some courts went back fairly quick and put up precautions, as others waited till COVID was over. However, everybody went back to their courtrooms, and for the most part, everybody was in their courtrooms. The child support courts were allowed to continue on Zoom. Everybody liked it, or most people liked that they can log in from work or from wherever, or whatever time's available. However, and it was working for the program, so we went ahead and accepted it. We like Zoom. However, we're still required to live stream. That is the big component of the open courts thing with Zoom court. So I'm trying to make an impression on you so you're aware of that. You don't forget it while you're talking or you get engrossed in your case, because if you say your address, your phone number, your email address, those kinds of things, you blurt them out there. They're out there on the internet. Anybody
Hold
can
on,
know them,
Judge.
use
Hold
them,
on. I gotta
see them,
address
whatever.
something
So
because the problem right now is that my ponytail holder is green. All right. Also, should I wear the glasses? My dark glasses, I don't know if they capture her situation. Also, my hair is so long. I have like extra hair. Yes. But as of right now. Anyways, also the judge, she's very nice. We love it that you're on YouTube too, Judge. Hit like and subscribe, please, Judge. Thank you.
Do it, because if you do it, I can't take it back. If you're trying to get there, I'll try to stop you, but I haven't always been successful. So I'm putting you on notice. You're on live stream YouTube. So just so you're aware. The last part is do not record. It would be considered in violation of our laws, subject to contempt of court, punishable by fine and or a jail sentence. That does apply to everyone in this court and everyone outside observing in. The four of us on the video are participating in this hearing. There is one more person in the courtroom that's allowed. She's a employee of the state, and she's helping us work the docket today. We've had quite a number of cases, and I'm talking really fast, and not because I've been talking for hours now. And I'm a little tired, but I'm not tired to go home. So I hope this is my last case, Ms. Teague. And if it's not, we'll see. However, just so you're aware of where I've been, what I've done, and that you've been here all day. I'll recognize that, and thank you for your patience and cooperation.
Is it me that's freezing or is it y'all's weather? I hear there's bad weather. Ryan Hall, y'all's live. We know what that means. I'm mad. First of all, F in the chat for the hat. Second of all, I don't know. It seems fine on my end, but I don't know. I don't know. NPC. I have to go after this. Also, everyone be safe, please. I can tell you just like Ryan Hall. Y'all.
So let me move on to Ms. T. Well, no, I still have to ask you. Of all the recording issues, do you have any questions or concerns, Mr. Harper?
No, ma'am.
Do you consent to go forward on Zoom today?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Garcia, the same. Were you going to say something, sir? No? I heard some backfeed or something. feedback. Ms. Garcia, you have any questions or concerns about any of the recordings issues?
Monthly is three, that's current child support at 524, which both parties are in agreement to. Both parties are in agreement that Mr. Harper should carry the private health insurance through his employer at a cost of $172 for medical support and $28 for dental support. They are in agreement that the child's last name should be changed to Garcia-Harper. As far as the retroactive support, CP mom, Miss Garcia, is requesting retroactive child support for the past 4 years since filing. And Mr. Harper is not in agreement to this length of time. He's requesting retroactive child support start from when they did a private DNA order in November of 2023.
Okay, I'm just trying to write
Guys,
it
I
down so I
need you
can
to
remember
guess
later.
how
Okay.
old the child is in this case. Guess how old the child is. Also, I'll be right back. I found the glasses. And I think they'll do it. Here we go. Get your guesses in the chat. How old is the child at issue for this case? Oh, Christopher Eggleby, you're so sweet. Oh my gosh. And first of all, I got, oh my god. Why do I have so many buttons to click, Chris? And yes, I'm exactly a keyboard, just your type, baby. Thank you.
Thank you. And did you do the math on either of those and how far apart they are, Ms. Teague, or you're waiting for, see what happens?
I did the numbers for both retroactive. I can tell you them now, but I wanted to get testimony out there first.
Sure, I can wait. I'm patient. Okay. You can, the state's gonna call witnesses. They get to decide who goes first. So the other one, please don't interrupt. The only interruption should be a valid legal objection on why something is not admissible in evidence. However,
Or a Paisley interruption to say a special thank you to Christopher. Why can't I fucking get it? There it was. I clicked it and then I clicked off of it. Just because. I'm really sorry, you guys. I'm not used to this setup of whatever's going on over here. As if I'm that used to the other setup. But in reality, Chris, it means so much to me. I want it to be in the right place on the screen, and I want to say thank you. What the fuck is it called? I had it up. So what's it called? Chat box? No, that is that. Oh, excuse me. God damn it. Oh, now I'm grabbing things. Oh, it's all falling apart. It's all falling apart. Oh my god. There it is. Grab it. I can't. Okay, whatever. It's in the middle of the screen for today. We're gonna deal with that. We're just gonna have it. It's gonna live right there.
most people just want to reply, you'll be given the chance to reply if you just be patient. And if you have a piece of paper and pen to write things down so you don't forget, that sometimes helps. So I'm just warning you ahead of time. Try not to interrupt. I'll stop you because I can't get a good record if you're both talking at the same time and I won't be able to understand you anyway. So Ms. Teague, you may start.
Yes, I'm going to call Miss Garcia. Miss Garcia, can you please state your full name for the record?
Dolores Garcia.
Okay. And please state your name and the age of your child. Please state the name and the age of your child for this case.
Zenaida Garcia, she is 18.
Okay.
What
And
was
is she
her first
currently
name again? I didn't hear it. What was her first name?
Zenaida Garcia.
Zenaida Garcia, thank you.
And she's 18, ladies and gentlemen. 18 years old. This was filmed yesterday. So it's March. She's 18. Oh, the questions. I'm giving up on the alerts. It's only going to bother me intensely if they pop up because of Streamlabs, and it's going to be fine.
You're welcome.
And is Zenaida currently in high school?
Yes, ma'am.
When does she graduate?
In May 2025.
Okay. And did you hear all the agreements that I read into the record just now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're in agreement to all of those things?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When have you ever lived with Mr. Harper?
I have never lived with him.
Okay. So in the last 4 years, you have not lived with Mr. Harper at all in the same household?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And are you requesting retroactive or back pay child support?
Yes, I am.
Okay. When did Mr. Harper know about Sunita?
Since I was pregnant,
Okay, 18 years ago?
yes.
Okay. And did you ever ask him for a DNA test?
Yes.
Okay, when's the first time you asked him for a DNA test?
2012, when she was shortly after she was born.
Okay. Were you pretty sure that he was the father around that time?
I said 2012, I meant to say 2007. And no, I didn't. I was not for certain. But I did make that clear. Like I did tell him I was not for certain.
Okay. Did he ever show up to the DNA test that you requested shortly after Sunita was born?
No, there was not one like in place. We just talked about it. No action was ever done after it.
Okay. But there was a private DNA test done recently?
Yes.
Okay, when was that done?
November 2023.
Okay. And the test results are positive?
Yes.
Okay. And has Mr. Harper given you anything in child support since November of 2023?
Yes. Well, he sends it to Senada. Um, so yes, he has paid.
How does he send it to Sunita?
Via Cash App, to her Cash App.
Okay. And how much would you say that he sent her?
Since 2023, it has been about 1,400.
Okay. Okay. And is there anything else you'd like the judge to know when making its decision today about retroactive child support?
Yes. Since Senada was born, I've been trying my best to try to get a DNA test done, and everything it's been so many things that have been done to be avoided. I've been blocked to just saying you're gonna do it and not doing it. So I would have to like threaten with child support or going through the attorney general. So I feel like it has just been pushed off to as far as long as it could to avoid responsibility.
Okay. And I'm just going to reiterate, Dad, you did tell Dad that you were pregnant with Sunita around the time of her birth, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so he knew that he could potentially have a child with you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you reached out to him to try to facilitate a DNA test shortly after he was born, correct?
Correct. And throughout her whole life, like almost every year, I tried every way I thought I could try to get in
Okay,
touch
so
with him.
he thought, I mean, so the child, he thought that the child could have been his, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing further, Judge.
I have to ask, how did you exclude the other gentleman, or did you ever do that, Ms. Garcia?
Same with him. I was trying, I was blocked. I was trying on both ends. Lundell would message me often. When he would come down from Dallas, he would message me and we'd get together and spend time together until he would try to message me and spend time with me, and I wasn't spending time with him. And it was always talked about, but never done. So whenever I got serious about it, I would get blocked or I would have to message off of my mother's Facebook. And it was just always running from getting a DNA test done till my daughter started asking because she wanted to know. And I made it a point to like, hey, we got to get it done or I'm going forward with the attorney general. Like it's going to be forced.
So you had communication with him every so often? How often during all those years? Every year, every hour,
Oh,
whatever?
when she was younger, when she was about between 1 and 7, like, yeah, he would come down and we'd get together. Just the paternity was never done.
Yeah, I get it. That's why you're here at the age of 18. But what I had asked you was about the other guy. Did you ever do a DNA with him?
No, I never did. I never did. We scheduled for it to where like we had a meeting to go, but I did not have the funds for it. He didn't agree to pay for it, so we never made it to that meeting.
So because they picked Mr. Londale first, I guess, or Mr. Harper, excuse me. That's how that's how we know about him, because he finally got the lawsuit.
Yeah, I told him like I wanted to get a DNA test done. Like I had been pursuing him for since I had Senada, is what I'm saying. Like
But you were
the other
pursuing,
person, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Tell me about the other guy. How long did you pursue him, or why did you stop?
Tell me about that other guy. Oh, did he cock block him? I love you guys. Oh, this is the best part of waking up. Is Christopher, all the sugar I need from you is you being here. Just so you know, we love you. And we love to be with you. And that goes for everybody. I'm just so thankful that I have such great friends to hang out with at night. Because I had a rough day today. I am so glad to be sitting and laughing with you guys. Realizing that at least it's not as bad as these guys. Oh. Oh.
I didn't think she was his. I felt like my daughter looked way like more get a DNA test done. Like I had been pursuing him for since I had Senada, is what I'm saying. Like
But you were
the other
pursuing,
person, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Tell me about the other guy. How long did you pursue him, or why did you stop?
I didn't think she was his. I felt like my daughter looked way like more like Lindell. Um, I still had. It was just I didn't stop pursuing the other person. I just still had like communication with Lindell. You know, it was easier over here. And as she got older, I was more towards him just because I felt like my daughter looked more like him.
Okay, but for a minute, it sounded like he was avoiding all sorts of things to avoid a lawsuit, but you say you had regular contact with him over the years.
No,
And
when she was about 1 to 5, and then like when we talked about getting a DNA test done, that's when it was like avoiding getting a DNA test done.
These are air fried peanuts. Japanese style air fried peanuts. They're delicious. I was snacking on them last night. Excuse my mouth. How disgusting and rude, Paisley. I could never be a mukbanger. Also, my brain wants to be a mukbanger because I'm like, oh, I want to eat everything, but then I actually can't eat everything. My mind wants to eat more than I can. These are called makana, and they are 2.6 grams of omega-6 per serving. I don't know what omega-6 is. They're a little bit spicy, but they're not hot. It says, choking warning. You may choke on these nuts. It doesn't say that. Oh, I wish it did though. Anyways, no, they're not hot, but they have a seasoning. They are not unseasoned. Also, you guys, if you notice how long the bar is ahead of me, or above me, so manufactured in Mexico. Peanuts, sugar, soy protein, caramel color, red chili pepper powder. Yellow dye number 6. For what reason? Why do we gotta dye these? Why? They're good though. I love chemicals. I'm a chemical baby. It's true.
Because after I had my daughter, I would still get together with him. And then went our separate ways. He moved to Dallas, and then like he would come down or he try to message me, but DNA test was always talk. It was always a conversation with
So
us.
you didn't know
Um,
about the Attorney General office back then to have filed much earlier than now? You
I
didn't?
did know about it, the Attorney General. I was young. I didn't put my daughter's the fact of her knowing. I didn't put that before anything, at the time, and I should have. I should have forced it um more, I should have made that my top priority. I do. I agree with that.
Well,
Um
let
I
me ask
did get
you.
in my I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
did get into a relationship to where after Senada was born, I did get into a relationship, and like we just agreed like she doesn't need him if he's going to be avoiding. So he took on I'm her dad, the step dad role, and I just left it like that. And I thought at the time that that was the right thing I was doing, but it wasn't. I know it wasn't. I should have pursued because she had the right to know. And I didn't realize that until she got older and started asking. That's why I started saying I have to go and get, like, it has to be forced if you're not going to agree.
Okay. I hate to ask you such a question, but I mean, I see these cases. I see these cases. I've been seeing them for a
I
long
agree. No, no, no. I agree.
time.
I made mistakes by not
Let me
making
ask, let me ask you the sensitive question. Did you not pursue him because it was just easier to keep him away? You didn't want him to have anything to do with the child, and maybe it was easier to not let him have visits and do all that stuff that would have happened had you brought him to court much younger. Did that happen?
really I was in my, like, really that's not why. It was because like I didn't want to force somebody to be a dad.
Okay.
Judge, she's frozen, frozen, frozen. She sucks. She does. She's literally, this is the fucking worst case scenario of this situation. The child is 18, which means it picks the relationship. It has no actual impact on the child. It's just a fucking clusterfuck. I would hazard a guess that she doesn't get welfare because if prior to this she was on state benefits, they would have initiated these proceedings before this child was 18. Ostensibly, in the state of Texas, it's pretty well connected. If you file for Medicaid or welfare benefits or I think SNAP or whatever it is, I'm pretty sure that they go ahead and automatically initiate AG cases to make sure that both parents are accountable in case they got somebody trying like welfare fraud. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, everybody makes mistakes. I've seen everybody makes mistakes. I'll just leave it at that.
Exactly.
When the state can't tell me this one, give me an answer to this one question is when did you actually file with the state? Even though I know when the lawsuit was filed and when Mr. Harper was served, when did you actually try going to the state to make the application? Did she freeze? Oh no, please don't freeze. We don't have time for freezing. She froze. Well, maybe I got a break. The first step is she gets kicked out and then she'll be coming right back. Here we are, 2 seconds later. Miss Garcia, you there? Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes, yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry.
you froze and I think for a good 20 seconds and then you got kicked out and kicked right back in. So,
Okay.
I guess I had asked my question, you hadn't answered it yet. When did you file with the state, an actual application with the state?
In I believe 2023, I believe.
After the DNA, not before the DNA?
Yes, after the DNA, because
Oh, darn. Okay.
I'm
You,
sorry.
okay, start again. After the DNA, why?
After the DNA, because I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and like see like if he would start being there for her and build a relationship with her. And then I asked him like to help financially and gave him that um option that to just deal like you can send it to Seneda. You don't have to send it to me, just be there for her, help her, like y'all build y'all's bond. And then I just seen that he wasn't keeping his
And
word.
B, how important
And
would it
I was
be
like,
that this guy has an attorney? Where am I going, William? I know. I wish. I'm not going anywhere. But seriously, how important would it be that this guy has an attorney? Oh, I know. I got Tits McGee happening over here. Anyways, he should have an attorney. Like, it is worth so much money. He could be on the line, on the hook for so much money. And an attorney could argue this down so far. So far. But yet, there's only 4 squares on the screen. So we know what has not happened. You guys know I wish I could just be tits out and then we wouldn't have any problems. Nobody would have to be sad.
well, if he's not keeping his word now, then like I don't know if he's going to continue to help with her, so I want to file for child support because if you're not helping now and following keeping your word, then you're not going to do it later.
Okay, and when did the relationship between him and Suneda actually start? After the DNA, or was there any communication before the DNA, just in case, or?
No, there's been communication way before the DNA. He's talked to her on the phone before the DNA.
When did that relationship actually start?
I want to say when she was about 14 years old, I was at a store and I allowed them to talk on FaceTime and like he asked to talk to her and they had talked and they been ever since then. Like when she was old enough to want to know and started asking about who her real father is, that's when I started pursuing more because she wants to know. It's not based on what I think or feel. It's not my decision now.
So what, even if there was a FaceTime connection at the age of 14, did it continue, or did it stop and start or restart, or what was?
They would talk and then not talk and then talk and then like
I didn't talk.
I don't know. I just he wasn't available all the time. Like I wasn't available. He had his relationship with his wife. So there's times where he couldn't speak to me or
Oh,
accept my
shit.
messages or
Hold
anything
on.
because
Girl, don't gloss over the tea. Also, look how much of this hearing we have left, y'all. That's 40 minutes. 40 minutes! Wife? Well, William, the child is an 18-year-old. So, you're right, 007. Let it go. I need another pop. I need another pop. I need another pop. Oh, I want it with ice so bad. But I don't have that. So I'll settle for the second best thing. Cold pop.
I've been blocked multiple times. So
Okay, but is there any reason why you didn't file then when you let them talk at the age of 14? Why
oh
you
yes,
wouldn't
ma'am,
file?
there was a reason. I was in a relationship that just wasn't it was a jealous toxic relationship and that would have caused a big problem. So that's another reason why I was using my mother's social media to message him to get a DNA test done. I was doing it all secretly trying to get this done while being in a relationship knowing it would have been a problem.
Uh, okay, if I were to give you all the back pay you wanted, could you give him all the back bonding or visits that he should have and could have had you brought him to court earlier and made a defied your jealous boyfriend or whatever?
No, I feel like if he wanted to know that, like, if he could have pursued the DNA test just as much as I have. I just feel like he knew there was a possibility, you know. He knew as well. Like I was trying, and there was no effort on that side. Like if my daughter went to his mom's house right after she was born, his best friend was in the hospital room when I had my daughter, you know.
Okay, but it all started with you telling him, even if you did have relations, that he wasn't the only possibility. You knew that, and he knew.
I did know it was a possibility that it was somebody else, and I did not want to hide that, keep that from him or anything. Like if I knew, I wanted to be honest about that.
That's good, ma'am. I commend you for that. I understand that. Okay, anything else you want to say that you haven't been asked on this one issue?
Um, no, I just feel like he could have put more effort in as well as a DNA test.
Do you know how much money you're asking for however many months you're asking for?
Oh my god.
No, not really. I just
I wish
wanna
I
be
lived in the Jerry Stronger fucking timeline. I'm sorry, I find that so funny. Can you imagine if we lived in the Jerry Stronger timeline instead of the Jerry Springer timeline?
there. That's it.
Well, tell me what you think fair is, because right now I haven't heard any numbers. I haven't heard how many months and the calculations, and I don't want to wait till the closing, Miss.
I feel like
Um,
fair is him paying the 4 years back pay, like 4 years out of 18 years of her life.
Okay, so that's 48 months. And at what rate would you want, and how much does that add up to?
I'm not
I have the
sure
numbers, Judge.
yeah.
Well, ask her if that's what she's asking for then. Let's see.
Yeah, so Ms. Garcia, you remember going over the numbers
Yes,
prior to
ma'am.
this hearing, correct?
I
Okay.
do. I
Were you
just
in
don't
agreement?
know the exact numbers. But yes, I
Okay, and
am in
you were in
agreement.
agreement? Okay, I'm gonna read those numbers off to Judge right now, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the retroactive goes, and I will get some testimony on Dad, if the full 4 years is ordered, the full judgment is gonna be 31,340. And that's based off of Dad's employment history. So from April 2020 to August 2021, he was working for 18 months at $23 an hour. And then in August 2021 to March 2022, he was unemployed. From March 2022 to today, he is working at the agreed gross monthly that we read in the agreement. He's been doing that for the past 3 years. That would put child support at $560 a month for 37 months. So total retro judgment would be 31,340.
So tell me if it's,
Wow.
did I write this down? Or what did the amounts per each level that you said of income?
Mm-hmm.
The amounts
So for,
to the 31,000, yeah.
yes,
How much is it? The first 18 months, whatever rate was it?
first 18 months is $23 an hour, 40 hours a week. His gross monthly would be $33,986. That puts child support at $590 a month.
So what's the
for a
number for that level? Yeah.
Yes, 10,620 for
Okay. And
18 months.
the next level, 10,618. Okay.
He was unemployed from August 2021 to March of 2022.
Humble brag.
He was searching for a job during that time, and again, we'll get testimony on this, so we didn't do anything for that. And then from March 2022 to today is when he's working in his current job at a rate of $13 an hour. He does get some commission for a gross total, or for a gross monthly of 3,766, with child support at $560 a month for 37 months.
So
That
what's the-
total is 20,720.
So that's where you get the 31,340.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and that's the amount that you think is fair, Miss Garcia, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Do you think that amount is fair?
Yes, ma'am.
31,000 wouldn't cause any kind of hardship to him or any kind of, because it's like having a credit card or a bank loan. It's got 6% annual interest. So it starts to, at that level, he's going to be owing roughly 150 or slightly around that number a month just on interest alone. And it comes down as he pays off principal. But every month he owes money, there's an extra charge for interest because that's from our laws, statutory. I can't change that, and it will accrue over the years. So just so you know what you're asking for. You think that's the right number?
Um, I think so. I mean, I'm not sure. Well, based on his income.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't, I just want to be fair, I don't want to put him in no hardship, but we do have a child,
you could
like
have got
our,
a lot more if you'd made
no,
it a quarterly or either one of you, but that's neither here nor there. But I can't give you just because you're here now what you to make up for everything. I can't do that. The law doesn't allow that. However, it is a hefty amount. And I think anybody would be like not have a $31,000 bill one day and have a $31,000 bill the next day with 6% interest would take a hard swallow about what that means to their finances. But just so that you know, anything else you want to say on the number?
no, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ms. Teague, you want to move on to Mr. Harper? Or do you have any follow-up for Ms. Garcia?
I don't have any follow-up, so I'll move on to Mr. Harper if you're ready, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Harper, can you state your full name for the record?
Yes, ma'am. Londell Dwayne Harper.
Okay. And do you have any other children, Mr. Harper?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many other children do you have?
I have one other child.
And how old is he?
He is 12.
Does he live with you?
No, ma'am.
Do you pay child support for him?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it court-ordered child support?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you pay voluntarily once a month for that
Absolutely.
child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And where do you currently work?
The law office of Scott and Associates.
Okay, and how long have you worked there?
3 years.
Okay.
Now, what the fuck?
And what did
Hold
you
the
do before
fucking
that?
phone, bro. Bro. You should have asked somebody at work. You should have asked somebody at work to help you with this. That's even stupider. I'm sure most lawyers would do that on like a payment plan for their right? What are you doing? What do you do there? Wait. What do you do there? I have a question. I have many questions.
Prior to that, I was unemployed. Then I was working at a company called Santander.
Santander, okay. When did you work at Santander?
Um, from I know my last day was in August of 2021. And I believe I started in April of 2020. Is that August 2020? Yeah.
Okay. And do you know how much you were making around that time?
I was making $23 an hour.
And you weren't unemployed between August of 2021 and March of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what do you do in your current job?
I work in collections.
Okay. Can you specify collections?
Not child support, is it?
No, ma'am, not child support.
An inside joke. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay. No, I collect on pretty much past due credit cards that we've subpoenaed and lawsuits served and things like that.
Okay. Okay. And just for the record, for a timeline, let me see here. From April of 2020 to August of 2021, you were working at Santander, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then you were unemployed until March of 2022 after that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then starting in March is when you started, March of 2022 is when you started your current job?
That is correct.
Okay, and you still work there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm gonna move on to some questions about your private health insurance, okay?
Okay.
Oh, well, you know what? Actually, we had those agreements before, so actually nothing further, Judge.
You know, I'm sorry, I don't think you asked them, did they hear the agreement? Did they agree with all the agreements you stated?
Oh,
Is that?
I think I did ask that to Mom, but I'll ask this to
I
Dad.
don't
Mr.
remember that.
Harper,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harper, did you hear the agreements that I read onto the record at the beginning?
The agreements as far as the amounts or
Yes, so the
Well,
so the
amounts
amount.
of child
the-
support, the joint managing conservatorship, the standard possession.
yes, ma'am. I just remember the last amount I heard was 525, but I heard you read 560. I'm somewhere lost in there, but I did hear you state that.
Okay. The
okay,
agreement,
right now you're talking about the issue of retroactive. That's when she said
Oh, okay.
60
Okay. Thank
as
you.
your rate of pay, but the agreements you reached here today was the custody, the visits, the regular child support, the insurance, all that stuff, and it was 524 that was recited. Is that
Okay.
the agreement, all of that part?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Did you reach that agreement freely and voluntarily? Nobody's forced or coerced you to do that?
Voluntarily. No one forced me.
And do you think it's in the best interest of your child, all the other agreements that you've reached?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
okay. And Judge, if you'd like the numbers, I do have the retroactive numbers for what Dad
Yeah.
is requesting as well.
Sure, and ask him, or yeah, it's testimony, sure.
Okay. Mr. Harper, you're in agreement that the DNA was positive in December of 2023?
No, it was November of 2020. Sorry.
I'm sorry, you're correct. November of 2023?
Correct.
Okay, and it's your position today that you should only pay child support, retroactive child support from November of 2023 to today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judges, for the numbers, that's 29 months at 560 child support.
That's
So
20
for
months
29 months?
from 2023, November and December. That's 2 months, 24 is 12 months, and 25 is
Oh,
3
you're
months.
correct.
I get 17 months. Tell me if I'm wrong, you 29.
No, you're correct, Judge. I had my math wrong here.
Insert lawyer, not mathematician joke here.
Well, then that's gonna be a huge difference anyway. He was agreeing to the 29 months?
He's in agreeing to 17 months times the 560. So a total of 9,520.
But did you tell him in negotiations about 29 months? Did he, is that what
I
he
don't
was?
believe I read the
Okay.
amounts to him as far as what he was asking for. I did tell him though about the full amounts
So yeah, it was
for 4 years.
17 months if we do the math, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
3, 24, 25, okay. And nobody said, but I guess you intended for the start date for the current support to be April 1st. So we are going through the March month for retro.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So that's what you're asking for? And the difference is between 9,500 and 31,000? Really, really?
Yeah.
Didn't-
Is that directed at me?
Yes, yes, it
Yes.
is.
Yes, ma'am. If I may interject, I was told the
Yes.
entire time that this child was not mine. She had a father. I was the one that asked for DNA test. That is inaccurate. A lot of the things I just heard were inaccurate, and it's very well aware. So I definitely believe that you know that is fair. From when we took the DNA test, absolutely. But I can't go back and get the time that I missed, and she is aware that I was the one asking for those tests and didn't speak that many times at all. But I was told it wasn't mine. After you're told that, that's what you believe.
There was nothing in your head or heart that said I should find out. I mean, you have another kid or
Yes,
kids.
yes, ma'am. I love her, but during that time, the woman tells you that that's not yours. And then it was told, oh, well, she has a father, so this was, okay, that's all I knew.
Um, she testified that you'd done, and remind me, $1,400 in Cash App to the child. Is that what you've done? Or do you have a different number that he said, she said?
Yes, ma'am.
It is $1,400 on Cash App that you sent to the daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you start that?
I started that the month I found out. The month I found out that she was mine. Absolutely.
So when did, from your side of it, when did Ms. Garcia stop saying she's got a father and start saying
Yep.
you need to be the father?
That didn't come about until she was about 15 years old. 15 years old, and Senada wanted to know who her father was. That was when she reached out. She's right through like her mother's Facebook or something like that. And
And did you block her or say no, or what?
oh no,
What?
I didn't block her at that time. The blocking was when we were younger. It's just we didn't get to it to possibly like it probably took a few extra months. But when I was still, you got to understand, when you miss that many years, now you're reaching out. When I tried all the years, now we want to figure out, now I'm being involved. Now she might be yours, when I was told she wasn't. So that's
Well, you heard her story and it sounded a little different than yours, but that's what I get.
yeah,
That's all I have.
yeah.
And why should I believe your story over her story?
I'm telling the truth. I don't have. I'm telling the absolute truth. I wish I would have. I wish I would have known when she was one. I wish I would have got the chance to go back and have those years. I wish I got that chance.
You have a relationship now?
Yeah, she's great. She is.
Oh, no, but like a real relationship, like you see her and visit, and I know you're in different towns.
I haven't seen her since Christmas, but yes, I usually get her holidays.
Oh, that has started already, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. She allows. Thank goodness she allows me to.
That started with the DNA results too, the money and the visits?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it's going well, I hope.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay, anything else you want to say, Mr. Harper?
No, ma'am. I thank you for your time today.
Ms. Garcia, you've heard his testimony. As you want to reply to that?
Yes, ma'am. I have messages from him, me asking him for a DNA and him telling me, why do we need a DNA test? The DNA's been talks forever, and I wouldn't have to pursue if you agree to it. And I obviously had to pursue, so.
No, you pursued after the DNA test. Then you wanted to file because I was sending money to Senada and not you. Because it should, y'all, they should have it on record where you said he's sending her money, but what about me? That's something you said while we were together in one of these courts. That's what happened.
Okay. And how did you, let me ask you, how did you decide to send money to Senada at all, Mr. Harper? And not to mom, because she's still a minor.
Yeah, well, I mean, I figured that's my daughter. She was a minor, but she's still 17. She was 16. She turned 17 2 months later. She's going to be 18. She just turned 18. I mean, when you're at that age, I feel like the money should be going to you. It should be helping her. But
So child support's only going to be April and May then, Ms. Teague, it sounded like, under this order, plus the back pay and interest?
Yes, Judge. So the current child support will just be until Senada graduates high school, and then whatever the retroactive child support amount is.
Okay, that is late. Okay. Technically, as y'all are representing yourselves, you're acting as your own lawyers, you have the right of cross-examination. Kind of tried to go there just a second ago, but
Yes.
let me do it official. Ms. Garcia, do you have any questions for Mr. Harper on the issue of the retroactive?
Yes, ma'am. What he's saying is false. I have proof. I
No,
have text
I'm not asking you
messages.
to I'm asking you if you have questions for him. If you want to reply, I'll still allow some of that, but right now I need to get over the cross-examination part. Do you have any questions for him?
Other than, yes, have I not been asking for a DNA test for years?
Mr. Harper, can you answer that?
You did ask for a DNA test in 2021 or 2022. You did. But did I not? Was I not the one who asked for DNA tests through all those years? When, if we ever did speak, and what did you tell me?
When I said she has a dad, I meant like she has a dad that's stepping up. Like she does have a dad
But
because you
why?
were not.
But why were you asking? Why would you tell me that if I wasn't asking for a DNA test? If I wasn't asking to figure out if I was her father?
Because you were not agreeing to get a
So then
DNA
why?
test.
Okay. Well,
Why
you
would you?
can, you
Why would
can do the cross-exam if you calm down a little bit and we
Oh, I'm
do the
sorry.
question and answer because it's gonna get out of hand. I don't want to do that.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I'm
I'm
sorry.
hearing you and it's good
I just
question.
have
and good
one
answer.
more question, if
Okay,
I
ask him,
can.
ma'am. Yes, please, let's get this over.
I told you, or did I not tell you you can send Senada the money through Cash App and you don't have to go through me?
You did tell me that, but then
Thank you.
that was at the very beginning. That you also
Thank
said we
you.
wouldn't be in child support court as well. You
Thank
said
you.
a lot of things you
Okay,
said.
you answered the question. Mr. Harper, do you have any questions for Ms. Garcia?
No, ma'am. Not no, ma'am. Just want honesty, man. That's it. Sorry.
You
No,
don't
ma'am.
know how many times I wish I could say that because people come in here, you got different versions. Of course you have different versions because you're looking from a different lens. However, here I am having to decide between the he said, she said, which are slightly different stories. They always are. So it's not that you're lying or embellishing necessarily, but that's what I get.
Yes, ma'am.
Some embellishment, maybe something more on your side than the other side. Okay, but I'll still gonna do what I do. So okay, we finished cross-exam. Miss Garcia, I don't remember if the state asked you or not, but I want to be doubly sure that you understand the agreements that were read, the one issue of retroactive, I'm not asking about that. The other agreements that were reached, are you freely and voluntarily agreeing to those items, the custody, the visits, the child support, the insurance, and the name change, those things?
Yes, ma'am.
And nobody's coerced you or forced you to enter into those agreements?
No, ma'am.
And you believe those agreements are in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and there's no non-disclosure issues and court costs. Those are the last two things I always ask, and I didn't hear about those two things. So Ms. Teague, you want to address those?
Court costs and non-disclosure, Judge?
Yes, did you have
Okay,
or do you have agreements?
yes, I don't think I went over non-disclosure with the parties, so I can ask them real quick about that. As far as court costs, the state would like to be assessed against Mr. Harper.
Okay, so you want to ask about non-disclosure, then you may go forward.
Okay. Give me just a second. All right, Ms. Garcia, I'm going to start with you. Do you have any issues with your home address, email address, and phone number being disclosed in this order?
That's fine.
Okay. And Mr. Harper, I'm gonna go with you next. Do you have any issues with your home address, phone number, and email address being disclosed in this order?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And Judge, I do have a few more questions for Mr. Harper, if you'll allow.
I will, if they're short and sweet.
They're short and sweet, I promise. So, and I think from testimony, it was brought up that Ms. Garcia asked for DNA around the child's 15th birthday. Is that correct, Mr. Harper?
When she was, I believe, when she was 16. It was when she was 16.
Okay. And this was in 2021?
No, that would be 1, 2, 3. No, that would be the wrong year because this would be 2023. This is 2023, man, not 21.
Okay. 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 I just wanted to clarify that. So DNA, Ms. Garcia asked you for DNA around when the kid was 15, that's 2023, and then you guys in 2023 got the DNA test. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What was her birth date? Tell me again. I wrote it down. I don't want to look for it. What is it? The child's birth date, Miss Garcia?
January 8th, 2007.
2007. Okay. So does the math add up? Yeah, 7 plus 6, 2007 plus
So
16
her
would
and
be
I look the same
2023 in
age.
January. And
Because my daughter was born a year later. Well, in December of 2008. Ah! Is that why I could do the hairstyle so easy? Ah!
she asked, y'all talked about DNA and got it done in November of that year. Okay. Thank you. Anything else, Ms. Teague, for either witness?
Give me just a second, Judge.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just want to reiterate with Mr. Harper, Ms. Garcia did ask you for DNA around the time the child was born.
No, man, we were supposed to take a DNA test when that baby was born, but it never happened. It was a
Okay,
disappearance.
but she did ask you though about it.
For the we had to sit down at my mother's house. We asked for the DNA test with my mother, my father, and my then girlfriend. We
Okay,
we all agreed that that's what would happen.
okay. So you knew potentially that Miss Garcia's child could be yours at that time?
Well, she told me it could be some other people's, it could be somebody else's.
Okay,
But then
but it also could have been yours?
it possibly could have been mine. But then after that, we didn't speak for a very long time. I think I saw her one time after that, and that that's pretty much how it went.
Okay,
That's
nothing further, Judge.
Okay. Then the state have a closing, I'm even on the contested issue.
Yes, I'll start my closing.
Okay.
We'll go with the agreements right onto the record, joint managing conservatorship, the standard possession order, no geographic restrictions. State is requesting the 524 in current child support starting April 1st. Dad to carry the private health insurance at 200. It would be 172 for the medical insurance and 28 for the dental. As far as the retroactive goes, the state is requesting the full 4 years with the 31,340, with a payback amount of $207. We're also going to request that step up once Seneda graduates from high school to $762 a month, with court costs assessed against Mr. Harper. And the parties have no issue with disclosing their information. So the state is okay with putting their information in the order.
Okay, Ms. Garcia, you agreed with everything, including the final retroactive that the state's proposing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Harper, you want to make a brief closing argument just on the contested issue, why I should or should not do the 31,340 and whether, really the only thing I consider is whether it would be hardship or not.
I mean, a hardship is not being able to be there with my child for all those years. And if I would have known she was mine, I definitely wouldn't have been able to take care of her. But for all of a sudden, just right now, to have 31,000 hit me, and I mean, it's just not fair. It's just not fair on my end at all. That's really how I feel.
Are you talking? You're not coming through anymore. What happened here?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Now I can. I might have missed a sentence or two.
Yes, ma'am. Well, all I'm saying is I want to be fair as well. For me to have to go back 4 years and I didn't even know she was mine.
007, I will point out that yesterday we watched 2 women go to jail because they disregarded court orders. So we can't say they always stick it to the men, because yesterday they were sticking it to the ladies. That's right. But what do we think the judge will do? There's still quite a bit of hearing left here. Get your guesses in the chat, and I appreciate you saying I look better than her. Do you think we're the same age or older? She's older, me older? I actually guess I'm older than her. Oh, Lord.
And, you know, I just don't believe that's all the way fair to me.
And your proposed most reasonable argument for the lower, much lower amount?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all you think you can do?
Could you
Consider
say that one more time, Judge?
9,000, you think that's all you can do, considering you really were off the hook for 18 years, or at least,
No, it's not off the hook. I wish I could have been on the hook. I wish I could have been there. I wish I got the opportunity to get the time with her. I didn't. Not a weekend. Not any of that. Because I was told she wasn't mine. She had a father.
okay. So how did you, or remind me how you decided to send money to child instead of mom? Because it's supposed to be child support to the mom for the benefit of the child.
Yeah, but I mean, when we discussed everything, when we discussed everything from the beginning, it wasn't even about money. It was just I was trying to do what I could by the time I got in her life, do anything I could to assist her. Which she said it was okay, but then it became a problem later. Um, which I'm pretty sure, with the money I sent Senada, they could have easily discussed on what's hers, what she could help with. I haven't, all I was trying to do is what I could as a father.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
No, man.
I'm looking at some numbers. Give me a second.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna finish pretty quick, but I'd rather stop my video for just a second.
Yeah, Judge. Everybody looks ugly when they're doing math. I found that. It's difficult to look good when you're trying to figure shit out. But what do you guys think is going to happen here? I think this is a tough case. He does seem like a good enough guy, but it is not the Attorney General's position that they have a time machine. I've heard Judge Webster say before to a couple, if I had a time machine, I wouldn't waste it on you folks. And they're like, he's like, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't be wasting it on fixing your problems. I was just like,
Okay,
holy fuck.
Ms. Garcia, you there? This
I'm
is what
here.
I'm gonna do. I get paid to do this. I get to hopefully sleep over this. I hear both sides. I try to do the best I can. I realize that not everybody can win every single time. And sometimes both people win and both people lose. Both people tell the truth. Both people lie. I've just met you folks for the last hour or so. So this is what I think is fair. I think what I am going to do is not order 4 years for 31,000, which I think is a bit much with a lot of interest attached to it. But I don't think that November, the 17 months is really enough, since she's 18 and yeah, I get what you're saying, that you would have been there, you would have paid, you would have this, you would have that, but it's still, she was shortchanged, and it took two people to tango. It's not just one. It took both of you to get to this point. So what I'm going to do is 3 years, 36 months at 560, and I'm not done yet. 36 times 560 is 20,160. And I am going to give credit on this one for the $1,400 directly to the child. So I will do child support retroactive judgment of 18,760. That is going to grow to 20 or more with interest alone, Ms. Garcia. Mr. Harper, if you want to keep giving your daughter cash money, it's not going to this. That's for her. That's separate apart. So he might end up doing 30,000 if he gives her money. But what comes to you is this 18,760, and you wanted that paid at, well, does it have to be 207 a month now with the rollover? It should be a different number.
Yes, I can calculate that for you, Judge.
And every action has consequences. You don't know how this is going to turn out. I've been around so long that there was rules about retroactive child support to date of birth. I had a lot of women waiting till 18 to keep the guy out of the dad's life and say, King's X, now I want the money, asking for 30, 40, 50, 60. Back then, inflation was a little bit less, or whatever, cost of living. But, and they said, oh, these guys had $100,000 debts before it was all over. And it could be vice versa too. We had a lot of mothers who were non-custodial parents. However, they moved it to 4 years, and somehow that still sometimes it turns out to be a lot with good wage earners, but you're a good wage earner. And so your daughter should benefit from some of your income, Mr. Harper. Now, I'll also tell you, and the state's going to give me some information in just a minute. I'll also tell you that I'm an associate court. I told you that at the beginning. I'm not an elected district judge. And if associate courts, I told you, were courts of record with digital recorders. However, there's a right of appeal. You get to go up to the district court level if you don't agree with me. Now, if you want to go fight out 10,000 bucks or whatever, go ahead. It doesn't bother me. Usually when you get to district court, you might have a lawyer, you might have more witnesses, you might have better evidence, it might be a whole different story that they hear, who knows? But that's your right. But this is based on what I heard here today and what I've done over 30 years, I think this is fair. So what's the number, Miss Teague, with the rollover?
Yes, we'll ask for that to be paid back at $145 a month with a step up after the child graduates high school at
Judge Dan
$669.
has a pretty significant social media
Yeah, that's okay.
presence.
And the 145 would also start April 1st.
April 1st, Judge.
Okay, every year, once a year, yeah, tax time, if you got income, a refund coming, sir, they might take it for this. As long as you owe money, they could take your any tax refunds, garnish it for child support, and it gets paid off quicker if you have a few thousand to throw at it that way. Otherwise, it could still be a long time till you pay this. And it might be your help for college, or it might not. It might just be Miss Garcia's to compensate her for all that time she didn't have child support. However, like I said, if you help your daughter on your own, that's out of your pocket. That does not go to the child support retroactive amount unless it's paid to the mother through the account. So don't send it directly to Ms. Garcia because you don't get credit for that either. It has to go through the registry of the court, which is that state disbursement unit. You got to send it that way or you don't get credit, Mr. Harper. And then you owe bunches more with 6% annual interest. Okay, Ms. Teague, anything else?
I just wanted to confirm with you before we let everyone go. You said 36 months, right, is included in that retro?
3 years is 36 months. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that'll put it at March of 2022?
Oh, gosh. You
No, it's okay. I could figure that out at
can
36.
figure that out. It's 36 months, not 48 and not 17. That's what
Okay,
I was
perfect.
thinking. So whatever you comes up with, minus the $1,400 sent to the daughter through at this point, not knowing and by agreement, not knowing it wouldn't count in the future.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Then if you want to appeal me, you have a right to appeal. You have a question, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I do have a. So, how much am I paying? You said $669 monthly, and how long? Is that right, Judge?
No, the child support is, what is it, $524 a month. You're still covering the child on insurance.
Correct.
And then what you're gonna pay on this is $145 a month. So that would be $669. But $524 of it goes to current child support for the next 2 months, April and May, and only $145 to the back pay. And then when she graduates, all of it goes to the back pay. So it's the same number, $669 right now, and later is just calculated differently, distributed differently once she graduates. Got it?
Okay, so it's not 145, it's 670 a month, right? 669, excuse me.
$669.
All right.
The
Yes.
145 is toward the 18,000 judgment. So you add the 524 plus 145, that's where you get the 669 total. And that'll continue.
For 3 years.
I don't know how long it's gonna take to pay it off, sir. I don't know.
I got
I
you.
can't do
Okay.
the math and the interest calculation alone, all that, but you can call the AG, you can look at your pay record, you set up an account every month, see how much it's interest, how it's coming down.
Okay.
And you can throw more money at it. They won't reject money as long as you owe it. You can send more money to pay it off quicker if that's what your desire is, or take however long with the interest calculation
Yes.
contained in it. Okay, anything else, Ms. Garcia?
No, ma'am.
Then thank you, folks. Well, I didn't finish. I was starting to tell you, you have the right to appeal. It goes fast. The state's going to draft this order, send it to you. I don't know if it's too late for today or not, but maybe tomorrow, Ms. Teague.
Yes, Judge. I'll get it out to them tomorrow.
And from that, you get 1 week roughly from today to get the order turned in, or ask the state to do that. They send it to you first to review and to see if, you see all the things, and there's gonna be 30 pages long or something. So if you see any problems, any errors, you call the AG. If you have any questions, you can call them too if you want to ask them stuff. However, if you don't sign it right away, or sign it by Wednesday of next week. It'll come to me on Thursday without your signatures. I turn this around fast because we need to get the court orders in the file, and especially if you all want to appeal. If you want to appeal me, either of you don't like it or both of you appeal me and see what kind of better deal you get in higher court, fine. You have 3 business days from the time you get the order with my signature on it. This first order goes out to you. It doesn't have my signature. It's for you all to review before I get it. The one that has my signature, that's the one where 3 business days to file the notice of appeal. It has to be in writing. It has to say what you're appealing, which part I made error, what I got wrong. And then you have to call the district clerk's office and get a court date within 30 days. You also have to send copies of the file pleading to the other parties, the other parent and the AG. You do all that, you have a shot at the apple in front of another judge. You miss your deadline, it's over. So this is the final order today, and unless y'all appeal it, then it's whatever happens in the higher court.
This is why
Any
lawyers
questions
are important. They know these
after that?
deadlines.
Mr. Harper,
No, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time, Judge.
Ms. Garcia,
No, ma'am.
thank you, folks. Good luck to all of y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I hope she gets
Thank you,
to college
Judge.
and has a good life. Thank you. That concludes this hearing, and y'all check out. I can stop my recordings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The child is 18007, no visitation because she's fucking 18, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a hearing, what a hearing, what a hearing. That was quite the case. Thank you so much for being here on a lovely Friday night. Don't forget, tomorrow night we got slap fights. That's right, slap fights on Saturday nights, tomorrow night. Now, I won't be live, but I'll be watching along with you. I know, I don't want to leave either. I think Creed's still gambling. So go over there, harass him a little bit. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for the the cleavage was on display tonight, along with my pearl necklace. Love it. Thank you so much. Wearing it with pride. Wearing it with pride better than in my eye. I love you guys so much. Do me a favor. Remember that I love you and I'm proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. It was John Live. Hit his fucking button, his command, and get over there. Love you, proud of you. See you in the next video. Okay, bye. Bye. God damn it, bye.
Ways down and ready to ride.